Okay, this is the dog video. So, I don't know if you guys know, I was born in Brazil, so my family lives there. I've been living in the US for a decade, a little more. Anyways, so I just enlisted in the Air Force, and I will be leaving in about 3 weeks from now. I enlisted in August, and it's almost November, the date that I'm going, and it flew by. 3 months flew by. Anyways, but I'm doing my last preparations, and one of them was shipping my dog to Brazil. Because though I'm married, my husband don't have the time to take care of the dog. He travels a lot with work, so I was a primary caregiver to the dog. So I decided to send her to my brother's house while I'm dealing with this transition into military life. Anyway, so if you are taking your dog to Brazil, either for traveling or to leave it there, or I don't know, to however, whatever the reason is, you traveling with your dog to Brazil, this is a video good for you too. My reasons are different, but the process is the same. Anyway, so the requirements for Brazil as for 2014. Right now it's 2014, October 17th of 2014. I don't know how it's going to be in the future. I don't know how it was in the past. But I took my dog on October 2nd of this year. So I'm going to tell you what I went through, which is not easy because I went through a lot to get this dog shipped. And I know that I couldn't find much information about it, and that's why I decided to make this video. Anyway, the process starts with, I checked on the kennel, right? The dog, for a travel to Brazil, the minimum you're gonna find, even if you pay a flight with no layover, straight from New York. I'm from New York. So straight from New York to Brazil, the minimum flight that you're gonna find, the timing is 9 hours. So keep it in mind that your dog's gonna be inside a crate for 9 hours. I took my dog in cargo. So cabin dogs, this is not the video for you. This is a cargo dog video, all right? My dog's 15 pounds. I bought the 15-pound kennel, and I found it too small. She was gonna be laying down there, but the sitting was not very comfortable. She was sitting kind of hunched back. She couldn't walk in there. It was basically like her size, and that was it. So I felt like I didn't want to send my dog on a 9-hour flight in that box. She was gonna not move for 9 hours. And if I was to travel inside a box, I don't want to be in a box that I can only lay down and sit like this for 9 hours. So I decided to go ahead and buy her the next big size, which was for a 50-pound dog, right? So I think there's a 300, 500, and 700 series. I'm not sure, but I think it was a 700 series that I bought. It's like 50-pound dog thing. It was huge, and I was glad that I bought it because it's a very traumatizing experience for them. So I wanted her to be as comfortable as possible inside that box. So in that box, she could walk, she could sit, she could lay down, she could do whatever she wanted inside there. It was very spacious. It was great. I was very pleased to buy that one box. It was huge, but I was pleased with it. The next thing that I did was I bought stickers with saying live animal to put all around that box. The other preparation you need to have is you have to buy a dish, like a plastic dish, to hang on the door of that kennel. It's also good for you to buy one of those little water bottles that have the little, like the hamster ones, so the dog can lick on it. They're not awesome because they lick a lot. They like keep leaking, but it's okay. Like buy an extra bottle of water and just tape it on top of the kennel. And if the dog runs out of that water, the crew can put more water for it. You have to buy a wee wee pad to put on the bottom of the kennel. I'm sorry, that's my roommate's dog. That's the remainder dog. Anyway, a wee wee pad in the bottom of the kennel because, as I said, she's gonna be 9 hours in there. To depending on the flight, if you get a flight that has a layover, they're gonna be like over 13 hours. That's what happened to my dog. Um, I'll get over there in a second. Anyways, so it's also good for you to have a lot of cut newspaper. Just cut newspaper as much as you can on the little, however you want to cut it, and put it on the bottom of in top of the wee wee pad on the floor. It gets plushier for them, it's more comfortable, and if they pee, it's, absorbs it a lot. Another thing that I did was I wore the same shirt for like a week, and then I put it on her. You cannot hang anything inside the kennel. So get a shirt that's smaller on you, or her clothes, or his clothes, or whatever dog or animal that you have. Get their clothes and sleep with it. Sleep like, I don't know, under your armpit, whatever is more disgusting and stinky that you can have your smell all over it, and put it on them for them to travel, because it will suit them. If you have like a traveling toy or a toy that they never play with, put it in there so they can entertain themselves. The toys are okay to have one toy or two toys in there. You have to have a bag with food inside, on top, not inside, on top of the kennel. You're also gonna have to like wrap it. You're gonna have to have a sticker with like information about the dog, the name of the dog, yada yada yada. Alright, so this is the kennel, right? Now the documentation, that's the annoying part, right? To go to Brazil, your dog needs to go to the vet a month before the travel, alright? That month before, you're gonna need to give the dog all of the shots necessary. So it's rabies, that's one of the minimum requirements, rabies. But your vet is gonna give like all the shots. So it's going to be rabies, it's going to be Bordetella, it's going to be like some other shots. They're going to be like testing for earthworms and all that stuff. Do all of that, because the rabies shot has to be at least a month old by the time they travel. So a month before, or a little more than a month before you travel, make sure that you do that. Then for Brazil, all of the documents that you need to take for your dog, besides the shots, have to be within 10 days. So the day that you get all the documentation ready to go, you have 10 days to ship the dog to Brazil or to take it with you. So the next thing you gotta do is 10 days before, you need to, I went a day before the 10 days start. The 10 days start after the USDA, the Department of Agriculture, gives their permission, like their seal for you to travel. Then the 10 days start. So about 2 days before that, I went to the vet. And then the vet did a thorough examination on her. And then to go to Brazil, she needs to take earthworm medication. They need to take some sort of like pesticide, whatever medication, and then you have to put Frontline on them because of ticks and treatment for ticks and flies or whatever, fleas and ticks. So you have to do all that. So you take it to the doctor, and then you have to tell them that you're taking the animal to another country, and that country is Brazil, because every country has a different policy to letting live animals getting in. Like for instance, I think Thailand requires a 3-month quarantine, so you won't be able to get your dog before 3 months in there. So don't take your dog to Thailand. Either way, so in Brazil, that's it. The vaccines, the treatment for fleas and ticks, and then the doctor's note. Then after you get all of that, when you get the doctor's note, the next day go to the USDA. The USDA's, I'm from New York, so my dog flew from JFK. So I went to JFK. There's a USDA over there. It's not on the airport. Okay, so make sure to give them a call. I might have their phone number around here, so then I can put it on comments. But make sure to give them a call before you do anything, because they're not in the airport. They are in a building way like in that neighborhood, but not there. So yeah, I don't know if I can find it. But if I don't find it, I'll put a link for the website or whatever. Anyway, so make sure to give them a call. Ask them the address really nicely. If you don't have a car, I feel for you, because I had to go there twice. My vet gave me the wrong documentation and they made me go back and take the dog back to the vet. And it's a creepy walk. Like, you have to get off way further away from the building and have like this creepy walk in the middle of the woods. It's insane. By the highway, it's crazy. But you go over there, you get that documentation. I flew with Copa Airlines. I flew her with Copa Airlines. So if you're doing Copa Airlines, I got it down to a science here. You will talk to them 10 days before, no, 15 days before the travel. I mean, I did it 3 months before because I wanted to make sure that the dog left, because I have to go to Texas. So I had to make sure that the dog was going for sure, because it's a total different ball game. So you are going to call the airline 15 days before. You're going to let them know that you need the dog to go at a certain date, and they will let you know if everything is good for it. If there are many reservations of other dogs, what's going on. Then they're going to give you an email address where you're required to send them the vaccination proof, like the proof of the vaccines. You can send all the documents together if you already went to the USDA and send everything. But because I really wanted to show them that I was serious about it and I really needed that to be done, and I still didn't have the CO from the USDA because it was 15 days before, I sent them the documentation for the vaccines. They also ask for a picture of your animal inside the kennel with the door closed and outside of the kennel next to it, so they have an idea of the size of the animal. Then I got the USDA approved documentation. I sent it to them, all of the documents, boom, as soon as I got it. And then they approved my reservation for her to go. You don't have to pay until you take the dog to the first try. I'm gonna call it try. All right, so you send them the documentation, everything is done. 72 hours before the flight, you're required to take the kennel to their, storage area, the area where they put all of the cargo that's gonna go with the airplane. So you're gonna take it to the cargo area, which also is not on JFK Airport. It's another building around that area. So that plane is gonna go. That stuff is not gonna go like straight to like the lobby where everybody goes departure. At least for Copa Airlines. I don't know the other airlines. So you go to that cargo area for Copa Airlines. You're gonna bring the dog or whatever pet, and you're gonna bring the kennel that you're taking it into. You prepare the whole kennel before you get there, or over there before you leave. So put your wee-wee pad, put your newspaper, put your water in there, put your food on top of it, all of the documents. If you have a Ziploc, put all of the original documents inside. Of course, make a copy of them so you have them, but all the original documents going to go in a Ziploc on top of the kennel. Everything's going to be wrapped up on top of the kennel, and then inside the toy, the dish plate, the water bottle, and whatnot. All right. Then they're going to take the animal and the kennel with you to a huge scale. And then you're going to put both of them there. They're going to measure, they're going to, do all of the weight and whatever. And then you're done. Then you're going to pay that day that you take the kennel, 72 hours before the flight. You're going to pay them. If you don't have cash, it's fine. They will let you pay the day that the animal leaves. But if you want to take the money already and pay it, you can pay it, and then everything's going to be fine. And then you have to arrive. They told me to arrive 3 hours before the flight. Her flight was at 3 o'clock. Because I didn't pay the day that I took the kennel, they told me to arrive at 10:30 in the morning. So I got there, paid it At 11 o'clock I was done, and I stayed there 4 hours with the dog because they didn't want to bring the dog inside yet. What was the dog gonna do inside the kennel for like 3-4 hours, you know? So I stayed with the dog until like about 2 o'clock. Yeah, so I stayed there for 2 hours doing nothing with the dog. So make sure to arrive early, but have a car so you can go around with it or like whatever, because they're not gonna let the dog in for 3 hours inside the kennel and do nothing, you know? And then that's it, the dog went. When the dog arrived over there, it was 13 hours because Copa always stops in Panama. Every single flight from Copa Airlines go to Panama and do a layover before going to any other country. So if you're going from Europe to South America, you're going to go to Panama. If you're going to North America to South America, you're going to go to Panama. If you're going to Colombia, you're going to go to Panama. There's like only a couple of flights that they have in South America that don't have the Panama layover. So keep that in mind if you send your animal with Copa Airlines, that it will stop on Panama and it will be about 2 hours layover. So you will be stressed. If you want to give it like, I don't know, a little bit of a calming treat, it's fine. Don't sedate the animal because you don't want it to wake up like, what the fuck is this? Sorry, my French. So you don't want them to be stressed. So give him like a little calming treat or a calming paste so it's just calm, but naturally it's gonna be stressed out. My brother went to pick up the dog. The dog was fine. She was a little stressed, but overall they did a great job. She didn't get lost. She was fine. So I would tell you that Copa Airlines is a good airline to send your dog. They're really cheap. They don't charge you more than $500 for a small dog to go. It depends on the size of the kennel and the weight of the animal in the kennel itself. But I paid $500 to send her. So it was pretty cheap and it was pretty safe. She was fine. That's about it. So if you're taking your animal, do your research, a lot of research beforehand, and you have to be very organized about the timing because the timing is really of the essence for a Brazil trip. You need to do everything within 10 days of the shipping of the animal. All right, even if you're going on a cabin, the documentation is the same. The only difference is that you are taking the animal with you for your flight and you're paying like considerably less, and you have to put the animal under the seat, like in the seat under you, in front of you. So it has to be like a really small animal, and you pay like $170, I think, that Copa Airlines charge for small animals to be going there. But their website has all the dimensions and everything. I'm gonna put the Copa Airlines. I don't work for Copa. They're not paying me to do this, but because I had an experience with them that was not that bad, I like to recommend them. So I'm going to put their website there. I'm going to put the USDA website there so you can start doing your process. To me, all of the vet bills for the vaccines cost me around $108. Then the doctor's appointment and all of the other medication, the front line and all of that stuff cost me another $150. So that was $162 only in vet stuff for her to travel, and then the $500 for her to go in the plane, and then the food and all that stuff. It cost me in the ballpark of like $800 to send her all together, and she's 15 pounds. So, oh yeah, plus the kennel was over $100, $160. So it cost me about $900 in the end of the day, counting everything that I bought, like from the kennel to the vet to the food, everything, about $900. So be prepared to pay a lot of money to send your little puppy to the tropicals. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. Have a good day. Bye.